tenants that are in California. I don't know if you heard about this, but Gavin Newsom has just signed into law a new landlord tenant law, which extends answering unlawful detainers from 5 days to 10 days. Before I get into it, like, follow, share. If you don't know who I am Sona Sumi. I am a realtor. I have a background in property management. I am a unlawful detainer specialist, which worked in probate in UD in Los Angeles Superior Court. So he passed in the law which extends unlawful detainer answers on the tenant side from 5 days to 10 days. This will help tenants, especially in rural areas, also for those who are in legal aid deserts, to better get help and to be able to give more time to answer the unlawful detainer. So, let me show this article to you and it explains it all. So here it is. It's by the Press Democrat. Get rid of this video. Oh my God. Anyway, the new California law gives tenants more time to respond to eviction notices. Tenant advocates are saying that giving renters 10 days to respond to eviction notice will help those who live in rural areas and have trouble finding legal help. Some landlords argue it would increase their costs. And so basically, tenants in California will have twice as much time to respond to eviction notices and potentially avoid losing their homes under bill signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom, which was yesterday. The new law comes amid a statewide housing crisis after a surge in evictions followed by the expiration of the pandemic era tenant protections. Tenant advocates said Assembly Bill 2347, which doubled the time to respond from 5 to 10 business days, will help renters who live in areas where legal help is scarce or face other life circumstances that make it hard for them to meet the current deadline. Under California law, landlords who sue to evict tenants must serve them with a formal notice called the unlawful detainer. If the tenant doesn't respond in writing within 5 business days, they can lose the case by default. The complex and technical answer form asks tenants outline any disagreement about the facts who choosing for more than a dozen possible legal defenses, which requires them to seek someone who understands the housing law. If you think about who are living in legal aid deserts, it may take them entire 5 days just to get into the door and get help, says Lorraine Lopez, a senior attorney with Western Center of Law of Poverty, response to the bill. Or they're going 40 or 50 miles to their nearest courthouse to try to get there before 5 p.m. to file that paperwork. Language barriers, lack of transportation, work schedules can slow tenants' ability to respond. About 40% of California tenants lose their cases by default, researchers have estimated. The state's major landlord lobby, the California Apartment Association, didn't formally oppose the new law, which takes effect January 1st. But some local landlord groups have objected any delay in evictions allow more unpaid rent to pile up, a cost to the property owners that will pass on to the new tenant. Every time there's an elongation of the process, it creates more lost owners. Of Daniel Borstein, San Francisco real estate attorney who represents landlords. He said while the 5-day window may seem short, it's a larger part of the eviction process can take months, and often begins only after tenants are months behind on their rent. That process, however, still unfolds much quickly than a typical lawsuit. For example, defendants in other civil lawsuits have 30 days to file a response. Tenants facing eviction are most likely than their landlords to get help from an attorney, and fewer of 5% nationwide have legal representation compared to more than 80% of landlords, the National Coalition for Civil Rights to Counsel estimates. While the new law carried by the Democratic Assembly member Ash Kalara of San Jose gives tenants more time to respond to an eviction notice, which shortens the time frame for their lawyers to file certain motions alleging errors in the landlord's complaint. Nancy Wild, who narrowly avoided an eviction judgment over an apartment she left in Contra Costa County, city of Oakley, said the new law could help tenants like her. While already moving out of an apartment she said was infested with mold when her landlord served her with an eviction notice. By the time she realized that she had to respond, the 5-day timeline had elapsed, and the court ruled that Wiles had to pay her landlord $7,000. It was very stressful, said Wiles, retired hairstylist on a fixed income. She later sought help from a pro bono attorney who got the case withdrawn. Every time there is elongation of the process, it creates loss to more owners. Daniel Bornstein, San Francisco real estate attorney. Tenants activist has also attempted to create more breathing room during an earlier step of eviction process when landlords notify renters of a problem before they file a case. California law gives tenants 3 days to correct the issue, for example, paying back rent or fixing damage to the property before eviction can be filed. San Francisco passed ordinance in 2022 giving tenants extra 10 days to correct problems, but a state appeals judge last week overturned the local measure, ruling that cities had to defer to the state on eviction procedures. And some California cities, including Los Angeles, are considering the following San Francisco's footsteps, guarantee a right to legal counsel for tenants facing eviction. So, basically, I would say this helps a lot of people. Also, if you need my help, I am a landlord tenant specialist. I do have a calendar in my link tree. Feel free to click on the link on my bio. It'll take you to that first link, and you can schedule a consultation with me. Well, I hope this helps you. And again, this starts beginning January 1st. All new laws are passed, and then it takes 6 months to go into effect in the state of California.